Hey everybody, I am making this video announcement because I don't really want to write it all out because it might get long and rambly. But basically, as I'm making this a video to tell you that Heroes 2 has basically failed. I just recently did a round of advertising yesterday and barely saw any return on number of players. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to join, even with a new tutorial. It's not working out. The issue, I have decided, lies within the progression system of Heroes 2. I think it is deeply flawed, inherently flawed. The reason that I had it in the first place is because I had it as a holdover from Heroes 1. I thought it was sort of core. This is, by the way, what I'm speaking about is the idea that your level is your highest level weapons level. And this is a carryover from Heroes 1, which was an arcade game, and also in Heroes 1, weapons were basically the same. So the any melee weapon was basically the same, with the exception of maybe reach and attack speed. And all the ranged weapons were the same. So it didn't really matter as much. In Heroes 2, I've kind of, intentionally gone out of my way to make these weapons diverse, interesting, unique. Each one offers a unique playstyle, a different playstyle. But if you, as a player, want to explore these different playstyles, you're actively punished by the progression system to do that, because you basically have to start over. And this is something I kind of knew at the back of my head, but I never really let it get to the front of my head because I just didn't want to think about it. There were so many other things on my plate. And it's become clear to me, or at least I firmly believe, that this inherently flawed progression system is what has killed the game. The poll I did a while back where I asked people if the game was too easy or the game was too grindy, and I expected people to be answering that it was easy, and I got people telling me that it was very grindy, and I was kind of confused by that. Until I realized that you could really ask that question. The ways to answer that question, there were kind of two ways to answer that question, and the two perspectives, let's say, that you could answer that question with. And the first perspective is, how long does it take me to minimally qualify for an end game mission? And the other question is, how long does it take me to have a set of meaningfully high-level weapons with which to compete at the end game? And there were these two different ways of looking at that situation, and the issue there is that dichotomy exists in the first place because of the progression system as it stands. The issue there being, if I make it easy for people if I make a meaningful progression curve for someone who is, straight shotting to qualify for endgame missions with, say, an iron weapon or something, then it's going to be painfully slow to have a diverse set of weapons that are feasible at the end game. But if you are a person who's trying to create a diverse set of weapons, and you want to be able to do that in a meaningful amount of time, then someone who is straight shotting to the end game can do it incredibly fast. So it took me a long time to come to this realization, but that dichotomy means that the system itself is just inherently cursed. There is no saving it. There is no way to have a diverse, to make it, have a meaningful thing, a meaningful system where weapons are diverse, or where you can have a diverse set of meaningful weapons and not get to the end game really, really quickly under the current system. So it's got to go. And I've made that decision. It's going to go. And I'm going to replace it with a more traditional get experience from killing monsters and level up system. And I realize it's kind of disappointing because it's not very Heroes-y, but Heroes 2 is too different to have this same system from Heroes 1. And who knows if it was even good for Heroes 1 either. I think this also alleviates some other problems, like what the player guide was designed to solve. How many people For that same poll, about a quarter of people said that they figured out way too late that they had to upgrade weapons in order to progress. And that's a quarter of people that stayed after they couldn't figure that out in a reasonable amount of time. So if 25% of the people that stayed thought that that was a pain point, imagine how many people quit before they could ever answer that question over the same issue. So just having a basic level up system where you get better by playing the game instead of having to consciously, upgrade a weapon might help more people get into this game that we know is good. Because what's the game really about? It's about dodging zones and it's about avoiding danger as closely as possible, right? That's the tagline, I guess. And nothing about the meta systems of the game accentuate that core loop. Nothing makes that more fun about what's in the game right now. And yeah, it took me way too long to figure that out because I was so, ostrich, head in the sand about fixing all the other stuff and getting content out on time and not realizing this fundamental issue that has been hemorrhaging players since the beginning. So why am I making this video announcement? Not to say that I'm quitting, because I'm not quitting yet. I have about 4 to 5 months, depending, of funds left to try and fix this. And so the thing that I'm going to do is there will be no more updates on the current version of the game. I will be making a separate version contained within the same, Roblox game universe that you, or I'll be creating a separate version on which I will be implementing a new progression system and rebalancing all of the existing content. I want you guys to be able to keep playing the game as it is if that's something you really want to do. Because, the gameplay is fun. I just need to fix the systems around it. And the new place I'll be making updates on and working as fast as possible to create this new progression system and get it working, and then also have a meaningful way to translate your current data to this new system. Like, what is a level 100 weapon? By the way, weapon upgrading won't be going away. It'll be changing forms somehow. It'll be different. Probably using similar material costs to get, or increase, probably something like exponentially increasing material costs to get same returns. So like first upgrade you get 5% more damage and it costs 1 material, but then it costs 2, and then it costs 3, and then it costs 5, 8, probably going to be a Fibonacci, something like that. So diminishing returns. And a rarity will stick around, so yellow weapons will deal more damage than colorless weapons, and purple weapons will deal more damage than yellow weapons, so on and so forth. So there will still be, strictly better weapons than others, but basically, if your character is level 20, then their Iron Sword will operate at that level of effectiveness. Instead of maybe somebody got to level 20 and they have an Urvox Club that's level 20, but their Iron Sword is level 1, and they don't want to ever use that Iron Sword that's level 1 because it sucks and they'd have to invest a ton of materials into making it worth their time. And that is the problem, right? So I want to be able to have players come in and use whatever weapons they want so that they can actually explore the meaningful content. And being able to engage with a diverse set of weapons will create a more fun game. That means that I can have a meaningfully slow progression curve on the EXP and level system, right? Because going from level 19 to 20 might be more fun if you could do a different weapon every single time that you ran the same mission in order to level up. And I'm not saying like you have to run a mission 10, 20 times. It's some number that just makes it so that you can't get to endgame in 2 days, because it should take longer than that, right? So yeah, that's basically the plan. And I don't know how long this is going to take. It could take a week, a month. I got time. But yeah, this is I want to apologize for screwing this up. kind of wasted your guys' time as well as mine by not really having the foresight. But on the other hand, you live and you learn, and you figure things out, and you make them better incrementally. I don't know if this new system will save the game, but I sure as hell believe that it's the best shot I've got at this point. I want to express some truly heartfelt gratitude for the people who've stuck around and supported. I don't think I would be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. It's not that I don't like Heroes 2, but I certainly don't like it as much as I would if nobody else did. So, yeah. I will probably still be streaming this development of the new progression system, and of course, your guys' feedback will be taken into it as well. Most specifically, I think I'm going to want your guys' guidance on the transition from current data to new data. I think I'm pretty adamant that I want everyone to start at level 1, but you might have pre-upgraded weapons based on your weapons' current levels, because I don't want to make you feel cheated out of the materials that you have. But also, material drop amounts might have to change. I think I'm going to be wanting to do a little bit more math this time around to make sure that, an average player will be doing on average a certain amount of time investment for a certain result, and so on and so forth. Anyway, thank you for sitting through this very improvised little update vlog. As you can probably tell from how long I've been talking, this would have been a pain to type out, so thank you, and yeah, here's to the next step in the journey. Thanks for coming with me this far. I hope we can keep walking for a while yet. Peace.